I can't believe what has just happened. This is every day. This is, I guess, owning a business. Lock in a US warehouse that we can ship from so that we never have to charge our customers duties again. Everyone say tariff vlog. Tariff vlog. Hello and welcome to another vlog. This probably isn't the most exciting vlog we've ever done, but it is probably the most informative one we've done. It is on tariffs. So I feel like the word tariff probably has never been used as much as it has been in the last couple of months. And watching this vlog back, it's been pretty surreal to just see the journey that we've gone on. I couldn't be more proud of our team for putting in place the process that we have put in place to really combat these tariffs and really, I guess, put us ahead, I think, of the curve and of what was happening in the US landscape. As some of you may know, the US is a huge part of Bydee. It's over 60% of the business. So putting something in place was fundamental for us, and if we didn't, it would have really hurt us. Just to give you guys a bit of an update, we have actually launched a 3PL, which you will see later in this vlog, which I'm so proud of and couldn't be happier with. Basically, that means that we've got a third-party logistics operator that is sending all of our orders from the US. Previously, everything was sent from our warehouse that we own and operate here in Sydney, but we've now handed that off to a third party. We did not take that lightly. We take packing our orders very seriously, and the QC of our products, so we've had to put in place lots of other processes to ensure that our products arrive the best quality and go out to our customer exactly how we would pack them. So that's been a lot of work in itself. We are about to do our third visit there in 3 months. So we have definitely been, I guess, very considered with the decision we've decided to make. But just to give you guys a bit of an update of what's happening in the landscape, and if you own a business or you're in retail, you probably know most of this. There were no clear answers. No one really knew. I was on so many webinars and we went to so many seminars to speak about this, and we're getting so much different information and things were changing daily. And I think that now, I wouldn't say they've settled. I think there is still so much to change, but basically the tariffs in the US from I think most countries, I don't know, these are the ones that affected us, but I believe most countries, there were no tariffs on any order value under $800. So there was a de minimis of $800. So basically a de minimis means that if you ordered something off Bydee and you lived in the US for $799, you would pay no tariffs. If you ordered something for $801, you were paying tariffs, and tariffs are essentially going to the government. It's kind of like a duty. So on the 1st of Feb, Trump made an announcement that he was removing the de minimis, which meant all orders, whether they're $1 or $800, were now going to be subject to tariffs. So there were so many challenges associated with just removing the de minimis, so he decided to reinstate it. Now, in that process, he did say, it's going to be removed again, but I am reinstating it basically until we're operationally ready. So in that time, we've gone and hustled to get a process in place so we can set ourselves up for success, so we never have to charge our customer tariffs at the checkout. We are sending things directly from our supplier and landing them. We're able to pay that 52.5% on the cost price. If we're sending it here direct to consumer, that 52.5% is being charged on the retail value. So I think that was another area of confusion, because a lot of our customers were saying, well, why can't you just absorb it when we were sending here from Australia? The reason why we couldn't absorb it is because if someone spends $150 on a bikini, and then we have to pay 52.5% on top of that, that's $75 on top of that they want us to absorb. So the tariffs have since gone up, and there seems to be a lot of noise that they will hopefully be reduced again. But right now, I believe that the swimwear, as of yesterday, are about 150% tariffs. So it's pretty crazy. So I hope you enjoy this vlog. It really gives you guys an insight into, I guess, the stress and the craziness that have been these last few months, and how, I guess, Bydee is now in the position that we are sending to the US. We are not charging any tariffs. We have our US warehouse, which can do next day delivery, which is amazing, or 2-day delivery. And I'm just so proud, and I can't believe that we're here. I mean, for us, this was a plan that was always on the cards, but it was probably another, I would say 18 to 24 months, but we did fast forward that process, and the teams worked so hard, and I couldn't be prouder. So I hope you enjoy this. these US tariffs that Trump has put into place are like insane. Trying to work out how we're going to trade to the US, which is one of our biggest markets. It's literally over 60% of the entire business. And he's put this into place. I mean, it hasn't fully been put into place. Like, we are yet to hear a lot from our DHL and Seco providers, but wow, it is a really tough one because it's not a small tariff he's put into place. We try and keep things very affordable to our customer. We don't do a lot of sales, so it's really important that our prices, I guess, we price things really well so that we don't do 30% offs and 50% off. So everything that is priced on the website is to sell. We're not pricing something to then go and slash the price off it. So I guess, yeah, that's just a tough conversation we're now having to have into how we're going to, I guess, be able to offer the same shopping experience that we do in the US, and what that looks like. So watch this space, because it's, yeah, I think a lot of retailers are going to really suffer from this, especially international trade into the US and anything made pretty much outside of the US. This is every day. This is, I guess, owning a business, and it's these challenges, they always come up. Less than 12 hours later, I can't believe what has just happened. I've just woken up and the news of this de minimis being put on hold. Thank God it was put on hold, because there was literally no operational support to support this, basically this new addition of charges. We were collecting at checkout. They were also charging customers upon receipt. It was just crazy. We absorbed the cost for about 24 hours until we realized that it's not even absorbing, like, because there was no information about what it was, said we'll absorb it until we know. But after we did that seminar yesterday, it was pretty apparent that not only is it like an absorption of a percentage of the cost price, it's actually an absorption of the retail value, which meant that every single order that we were sending out in that time, we weren't breaking even, we were losing 20%. So it was costing us money to send these orders to the US. Obviously, a business of our size can only do that for so long. We have so many customers in the US, and it's just not feasible. Obviously, it's such a crap experience for customers. What was also a crap experience is that when we weren't receiving it, the customers were getting hit on the other side and being asked to pay it. So all round, it's so operationally not, there's no process in place. And so I guess we started collecting it yesterday, which I was devastated to do, and I knew that we would lose customers, but I'd rather just be super transparent and put it at the checkout so that people know what they would be up for, rather than them paying and then getting hit on the other side. Even businesses saying they were absorbing it, like we were absorbing it, but it was a manual process. So each package, we'd have to reach out to DHL to absorb the cost. We weren't able to do it on bulk. So it was so time consuming, and not even time consuming, but just convoluted, and so much room for error. I think we have to, like, I just don't want to make another statement. I feel like people are going to think that we're literally just like flip-flopping. But we're going to just remove it from the website and just stay quiet until we know more information. But Nathaniel, one of our DHL, he's come through and said, it's been temporarily reinstated due to major supply chain disruptions and logistical issues. Hello, like, it was literally like carnage. Like, I don't know how they thought that this was a good idea to put into place without a process. And the other thing that DHL told us yesterday is, like, so we can charge the duties at checkout. They won't charge the customer, but when it gets there, we still have to pay a $30 fee for them to do the manual process of allocating the duties from that order and paying them. So, and we were already paying that fee as well. So it's like, if we absorbed that plus paid $30, yeah, it would have just been crazy. And I mean, like I said, we did that for a time period, but God, like, this is not an easy time. And it's like heading into US peak season. I'm literally heading there tonight. I'm so upset that this has happened at this time, but rest assured, if this is paused for, you know, 2 months, I hope it's 2 months, but it's probably only 1 month, but that's okay. We'll work as fast as we can. We're going to get a warehouse on the ground there. I wish this wasn't the same time as the shoot was happening. I wish that there was a bit of a space and that we could do one at a time, but when it rains, it pours, so we get through it. Okay, so it's Tuesday. We leave to go to Colombia on Thursday.
and we are actually on our way to visit our PR agency. We went for dinner with the owners, Kate and John, last night, which was so lovely. We love working with them. We've worked with them for 2 years now, and it's always so lovely to see the girls here in LA when we visit. They also just moved into a new office, and me being Greek, you must, when someone moves into a new space, get them a little gift. So we're gonna get her a candle, hopefully from Loewe. I'm obsessed with their candles, so hopefully they have some in their store. Otherwise we might have to go to Nordstrom. But yeah, I'm so excited. And also Carlene and Geordie arrived today, which is just gonna be the best. We've got dinner plans and I can't wait to see them. I think they land like in the next 15 minutes, so I'm so excited to see them when they get here.
Hi guys, I am back from our PR agency. We had such a lovely visit with them. We had such a fun brainstorm. I also made a road order, which I literally forgot about. I also ordered Carlene some goodies. The girls were all like, let's do an unboxing. So we unboxed it together. I've never ordered from Rode before, so I was so excited to try their products. Obviously I'm obsessed with Hailey Bieber, like who isn't? She's literally my muse. I mean, 2025 manifesting, Hailey Bieber is gonna wear Bydee. Watch this space. Hailey Bieber is going to wear Bydee. At the PR agency today, Kate had this like little crab, which I was taking photos of because we're going to do a little crab charm coming later. But she was like, rub the crab, and like, I don't even think she said rub the crab. I think she just said hold the crab and like make a wish. But of course I held and then like rubbed the crab's back. And I was like, I wish that Hailey Bieber will wear Bydee. So watch this space because I can feel it coming. We'll see. We've sent to her before, but who knows if she's worn her. She just hasn't photographed in us before, but fingers crossed. Something else that was really fun today, we did our we had like a bit of a brainstorm with the girls from the PR agency, and we just kind of spoke about, we're supposed to do like a influencer event at the end of March, but we've just decided to pivot that, so we'll no longer be doing that, which is sad, but also like I think it's 100% the right decision. The fact that we were going to do an event with all of this I guess turmoil with the taxes, the tariffs, sorry, it just doesn't feel appropriate, and I would feel so silly to invest into an event if we didn't get it together in time and the tariffs were turned back on and the de minimis was removed, and we just done an influencer event and then customers had to pay tariffs. Like that would just be a terrible overall brand experience and something that we just do not want to do. So I guess the goal from here on out is lock in a US warehouse that we can ship from so that we never have to charge our customers duties again. That's number one goal for us over the next month. And then with that, we kind of spoke a little bit about more of like a holistic strategy in terms of, I guess, like when we do get that warehouse locked in, it's like, what are we doing to, I guess, really promote that and like share with our customers that we're now here in the US and we're actually shipping from the US. So, you know, next day delivery, quick returns, like, yeah, just really, I guess, showing, like, speaking to our customers about, I guess, how exciting it is now that you can shop from Bydee with such a quick shipping time frame, and that you'll never have to pay duties again. Being able to offer next day shipping and having a warehouse here is just game changing. And then we also spoke about looking to do like more of like a VIP customer / like a few select influencers at like a cocktail party vibe, showcasing a new collection. Yeah, feeling good. It was really great to brainstorm with the girls, and wow, I really want to have a store here. After being here now, I'm like, I feel like we just need one. So maybe that's a 2026 thing. Something else that I was actually just like reading through all of the comments. Let me actually see if I can find some. I was reading through all of the comments with the post that we made. Obviously we haven't removed that post. I have seen a few other brands have removed it. I kind of think we'll just keep it because I feel like, I guess it's just transparent for us to keep it there. I don't see a reason to remove it yet. I feel like as well, we've obviously put an update on that post to say that the de minimis has been reinstated. So the taxes aren't currently, the duties aren't currently applicable, which is fantastic. But I guess if anything changes, we can always like revert back to that post. But I really hope that in the next couple of weeks, it doesn't change and just gives us enough time to really get this warehouse up and running. It's interesting also to see like a lot of pushback on China, which
look, I get it. I think if you don't work in fashion or in the product industry, I think it's really easy to have an opinion on China. To be honest, I did many years ago when I wasn't like quite educated on it, but since going there, like I've been there I think like 10 times now, it's crazy that people have a perception of it. Obviously that part of China does exist, like the mass production, obviously that exists in China, but that's not every factory in China. In fact, I would say that most factories are actually quite small, and they often will say they're a lot bigger than what they are. I visited so many factories there across all of our different divisions, and China's amazing from a production standpoint. As a brand, like, I mean, for those of you who don't know, I started Bydee 10 years ago now, and we manufactured, like, I started making everything with my mum. Then we sourced local manufacturers in Australia. Then we moved to a few other countries before we did move to China. Again, we do manufacture in different countries. It isn't just China, but we do a lot in China. And I guess the reason why we do a lot in China is a lot of our raw materials come from China. So even in other countries, when we do manufacture, we still have to send all of our fabrics, our trims, our rubbers, our underwires, actually not the underwires, but the rubbers, into those countries. So it means that somewhere or another you're still bringing in from China, and a lot of those countries actually have taxes from China because, again, they're trying to protect that country's manufacturing, so they don't actually want things from China coming in. So then you're paying, say, 40% taxes on the fabric, which then drives the prices up. So, and then you're also like at the mercy of that government. We've had things stuck in customs, fabrics, trims. We've been taxed at like 200% before, just because they're like, something's been marked incorrectly. So it's also really, that's also, I guess, a huge challenge, is manufacturing in other countries when all of your raw materials are coming from China. And I guess maybe people don't understand that a lot of the best technologies are in China. Our fabric, like state-of-the-art digital printing, doesn't exist anywhere else. Like, you know, there is digital printing facilities in Italy and other places, but they don't compare to the ones in China. I mean, especially for swimwear digital printing, it's like, it's amazing, like the way that they can color match, the quality and the detail that they can do. I've been to printing factories in Australia, many of them. They do not compare to the ones in China, the technologies that they have. Hardware, like the way that the molds are made and the way that the hardware is then produced. We don't have the capabilities, nor in Australia or the US, don't have the infrastructure or the factories that are pre-existing to make, you know, the hardware. All of our hardware at Bydee is customized. We've got logos, it's all custom sizing. You know, all of our charms, everything is customized based on like a sketch to a CAD to the production of it. It's a super detailed process, and I think people think maybe that we just buy these things ready-made, and you can, sure. When we started, we did buy things ready-made. We weren't able to produce high quantities, which made it worthwhile to, you know, get these custom made. But right now we get everything customized, and that's all done in China, and the capabilities are just amazing. And to our manufacturers outside of China, everything's sent from China. So I mean, I think it's just I think people maybe have a different idea of China, and I think that people feel that because it's from China that it's cheap, or that it's accessible, like we've just gone to a market and bought our swimwear, we've bought it ready-made. I don't think people realize that we are designing every single bit from scratch, from the prints to the binding to the beading design to the charms to the hardware to the HTL, the heat press label that's on the inside of the swimwear, the color of the lining, you know, picking Pantones for that. Every little thing is completely thought out. Nothing is pre-bought. All of our trims, they're developed. We want, you know, a scalloped lace, you know, how wide we want the lace. Everything is developed. It's quite a long process. So I think that people think just because it's from China, it's like something that we bought that's cheap. And when I was reading those comments, I was like so surprised that people thought that we had these like crazy high margins, and that we were, you know, taking the cheap route because it's from China. It's just, it's not the case. And of course there is, you can buy cheap things in China, but you can, you know, Zimmermann, one of the leading, I guess, detailed brands in the world has production in China. Cult Gaia has production in China. Some really amazing top tier brands have production in China, and they're very detail orientated. They also value, you know, quality. They're really wanting to make sure they deliver a beautiful quality product. They're so passionate about it that often when we shoot campaigns, like I'll send them photos and they'll be like, oh my goodness, I'll be showing the whole team. Everyone will be so excited. Like, they're very proud of the work that they produce, and so they should be. Like, if you guys have ever had your hands on a Bydee bikini, like, they're pretty amazing. If you look at all the quality and all the details that goes into it, the amount of thought that goes into each little piece is I mean, takes an army. So I think just like understanding that a little bit more, I hope that helps.
By mid-March, have the stock ready to send to, or have it sent to US, depending on what the integration looks like.
Yep. Order
testing late March, go live in March. Very loose, a lot of different steps and moving parts in that, but that's kind of where we kind of landed yesterday based on initial conversations.
Okay. If for some reason that timeline gets pushed out by 2 weeks, are we aligned that we'd have to just move the launch of Viva La Vida?
I think we play it by ear. If the tariffs aren't in place yet, I think we can just BAU.
Yeah.
But if the tariffs are in place, we can review that. And
I do think though, if we're super close to, like, if everything's in place, I just think it would be so nice to launch the new collection as like launch, like next day delivery, US, like kind of like bang on about, like, and have it like as one kind of big thing, as opposed to new collection in 3 weeks time or 2 weeks time, you can now get it the next day.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, if the difference is only like a few weeks or up to 2 to 3 weeks difference, I think yes, 100% let's delay. Aligned with that.
Cool. All right, guys, I'm back here talking about tariffs. He's just announced that he's putting tariffs onto products made in Indonesia, which is where a large portion of our products are also made. It is, it's really shitty, to be honest, because I mean, look, I think we all thought this was going to come, but we thought it would take a little bit longer. I cannot understand his logic. Obviously he's done China, we all know that, but now he's doing Indonesia, and I feel like he's just going to go down the pecking chain, and he's going to be doing all the countries where production is predominantly done. I guess his plan is to move production to the US, which, like I've mentioned before, I don't understand how he thinks that that is feasible. They do not have the infrastructure to support manufacturing. I don't know for every single faculty, but for swimwear they don't, especially not within our price point. You have to understand, I guess, the cost of living in somewhere like Indonesia is a lot less than the cost of living in the US, and so the hourly rate is less, which means that, you know, we get all of our completely beaded bikinis done in Indonesia, and it is it's still quite expensive to bead our bikinis. A lot of people will comment on our prices, particularly on TikTok. I think TikTok seems to attract like an interesting audience of people who don't quite understand the quality that goes into our products, but they'll comment that our bikinis are so expensive, and I so strongly disagree with that. If you ever have one of our pieces in your hand, you'll see the quality. Our beads aren't glued on, they're literally hand sewn on. And yeah, we have worked for years with our supplier in Indonesia. We have such a strong relationship with them. We visit them regularly. I should actually probably insert some clips from when we went to Indonesia, because they are so sweet. Like, as soon as we walked into the room, they were like, Bydee, Bydee. It was so cute. They're coming up to us, they're thanking us, like, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity, like, give us more orders. Like, it's really sad that he's done this, because all it's going to do is drive up the prices, and we've had to do our price increase. We just did our price increase a few days ago now, and to be honest, that was devastating to do, because I never wanted to up our prices. I always wanted to do everything we could to not up our prices, but the cost of everything has risen, and it would not be feasible for us to continue to put pressure on our manufacturers to maintain our price point, nor would it be feasible for us to put pressure on ourselves as a business to try and maintain those price points. So something had to give, and both had to give. Our prices have risen from a manufacturing side, not just for the actual manufacturing itself, but for all the raw materials, fabric, trims, beads, threads, elastics, rubbers, hardware. Everything's increased in cost over the last 5 years, and of course the cost of labor has also increased with the rising costs of living. I mean, like I said, cost of living in in these countries that typically do production is less than say somewhere like America or Australia, but at the same time it is still rising, especially for example in Bali where a lot of our products are made. We've actually started to move some of our production and our hand beading out to like villages and things so that the beaders can actually stay in their village, because it's not feasible for them to come and live in the more, I guess, populated areas, because a lot of expats have now moved to those countries and they've really driven up the prices. So the locals are really struggling to live in those areas and they've had to move further out. So I guess that's just the reality of I guess inflation, but it is scary. Wow, they're also going to increase the China tariffs again. What? Yeah, okay. So obviously he's put that hold on that de minimis, but I'm sure she said I'm sure it's coming back, and like we all know it's coming back. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, but at least we have our 3PL up and running. We've got a bunch of stock that's landed there. Yeah, it's a bit scary. Thank you so much for listening to my spiel on tariffs again, and I hope that you don't see me again talking about this, because we've now increased our prices. We've now moved to a 3PL in the US. I feel like we've done everything we can at this point. Please don't increase more. We're so tech savvy. Okay, we're going in for some live chat. We're so lucky because we're so close to launching our 3PL and we're in the mode of what we're going to do. Hi, how are you feeling, Jenny?
Feeling really good, really calm.
That's good.
Yeah. Another Red Bull maybe.
The site will be shut down for however X amount of time, and then we'll be back in 48 hours. We'll come back quickly, it'll sound better than that, but yeah. Oh God.
Doing some behind the scenes. The live scrambling behind the scenes. This is for our tariff vlog. Everyone say tariff vlog.
Tariff vlog.
Say tariff vlog.
Tariff vlog.
Love it.
We've been prepping for this, girlies. We are ready.
We are ready.
We are ready, Mr. Trump.
We are ready, Mr. Trump. Let's go.
Let's go, girls. Give Roxy Red Bulls, please. Alright, let's do this.
Is that Jenny's card?
Yes.
Oh great, what else should we get? I'm joking. Okay, it is 3:39 a.m. We are almost ready to go to our 3PL in Texas. I'm whispering because Charlotte isn't coming with us and she's still asleep. But yeah, catch us at maybe in the car. Morning. Morning. We've touched down in Dallas, Texas. The flight was 50 minutes shorter than what it needed to be.
And it was on time. Like we actually left a couple of minutes early, which was a miracle.
Yeah, because last time I came here it was like 2.5 hours delayed, so that was great because we don't have long here. Our alarms went off at 3 o'clock this morning.
That was a jump scare.
It was a real jump scare.
And we both slept a little bit on the plane, so now
Yes.
we're on the way. And
We also didn't get a ticket issued to us.
yeah,
So we were quite worried when we got to the gate, but they just said that they had to issue our seats at the gate, so we basically got like the last drabs of seats left.
and also my passport almost got ruined, but alas, it didn't.
It was like drenched. The guy had to like,
He goes, "You meant to say g'day, mate," and I was like,
"G'day, mate." He was like, "Yeah, it's really wet." We've got 4.5 hours till our flight leaves. Half an hour travel time, so we'll get there at 12. Probably an hour and a half at our 3PL. Yeah, we're excited to show you guys around the 3PL. We've told them that we're filming, so they said that is fine. We just launched 3 days ago, so we are now shipping from the US, which is so exciting given the crazy increase in tariffs in the last few days. So
team has been working so hard.
team has been working so hard. It's a forever evolving situation, so hopefully it starts to settle down. So now we can do next day delivery, which we've actually got an event on Friday, so we've tested a few next day deliveries.
It's so exciting.
So exciting. So yeah, we can do next day delivery, which is just crazy because it used to be 4 days for us to the US, and now we can do it next day. So yeah, game changer.
Like 4 days feels reasonable, but next day is like unheard of.
Absolutely. And also not being charged tariffs at the checkout, which is like
All of our compost bags, of course. They're cool. An order for Georgia. Oh, I feel like I know this person. That's exciting.
Wow, New York. New York.
I'm getting so excited.
Yeah. Not you digging around.
Catherine.
Where's she from?
She's from Lincoln.
Annie.
Nebraska?
Nebraska.
Jessica.
From?
Fort Collins, Colorado.
Colorado.
Nice, Jessica. What do you have? Feels like a bikini set. Oh, there's one more.
It's you just digging around the boxes.
Ooh, Honolulu. That's cool.
That's exciting.
That's exciting. What did she get?
It's giving what's under the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
The vibes are vibing. Desi's locking in for some quality control checks.
Quality control.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh no.
it's the later one.
No stop.
So the wrong color. Yeah.
No.
That's a good find.
It's a good find.
That is what you call a quality control check. Lucky you checked.
No.
Like,
The wrong necklace.
so it's meant to be insert photo.
Insert photo. It's meant to be the sombra, but it's the Siva choker in green. 25004
Yeah, but
25002, but it shouldn't say red.
Okay, one should say green, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bring your pack and order. Yeah.
Oh my god, we're going to a packing station.
Alright, so what you're gonna do is we're gonna scan the tote. I'll stay out of the video
like
if you
this?
want. Yeah, so you can grab this. There might be a little one on the side, so there you go. Once you scan it, it will pull it there. So now we just want to verify the quantity of what's in that package.
Cool. Wow, this is really cool.
So by verifying, what we do is we can scan the barcodes on them as well.
I like that it has the to add in the card.
But this doesn't have a barcode.
Those don't, so we usually can just maybe tap on them. Yep, so we're there. Same with the inserts.
Same.
Perfect.
Got the card.
How cute!
How cute.
I love that that's an option.
And then this one we're going to scan.
We're gonna scan the barcode, yeah.
Verify use packaging.
The scan use packaging. Packaging has no barcode. We're gonna do it by the satchel. So perfect, we're all good.
Wow,
Back it
Desi.
up.
Okay.
The shipping label will print out.
Oh,
So,
stunning. Wow.
okay, this one so that the customer can still return it.
Love it.
Great. Of course.
That's great. Wow. Look at her go.
And then
I can see it. Yeah. Put it in the station.
you guys can I do this one as well?
That's
Okay.
This is what's in there.
She just ordered an Olivia bottom, which I feel
Gorgeous.
concerned about. Where's the top?
Maybe she already had a top. Maybe she returned the bottoms and is getting a new top.
Matching.
Oh my god, not with this. Not
with this.
No. What are you matching it with? You cannot.
It's Bydee.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect isn't the word I would
Morgan
use.
in Newport Beach, California.
Morgan.
Okay. Beautiful.
We got there in the end.
Welcome to our office. I just want to make sure this gets like swapped over.
You wanna leave these here like that?
Oh,
Yeah,
I could wait here.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
In a half mile, please left to stay on Texas 183 east using the second lane from the
French. On a French little boy. So we're just on our way back from the 3PL and we're going to the airport. We're both not feeling very great.
And hitting a wall hard with no brakes.
Yeah, hitting a wall and throat is really sore. We were both on the middle seat on the way over here, like both squished between random people. And I fear that's also going to be what the return journey looks like. American Airline booked through Qantas is not our friend. I don't think they like that partnership. So
I don't think so either.
They give us the worst seat.
You can't do anything. You
Basically,
can't.
almost didn't even get a seat. So if we felt lucky to even be on that plane.
Also, don't say priority. It said priority, but it's like
it was priority, but you're last on the plane.
Yeah, you're actually in the last group.
You're priority to get off the plane.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Priority to never fly with us again.
It really is. So anyway, we had a great time at the. We're on low battery, so we'll finish this up quick. We had a great time going through the 3PL. We noticed some like small issues, which were great because we got to rectify them super quickly. We even sent out some orders.
Lots of fun.
And yeah, it was just good to like be on the ground and see everything, and hopefully it's going to be smooth sailing from here. But we are back in a month's time to check in on things, and hopefully by then we have some better news with the tariffs, because they are super challenging. And I mean, it's not just us, it's every business right now that is going through this, unless you're made in the United States or Australia, which I don't think are many businesses.